Drawing how music makes me feel. The other day I was listening to Chappell Rowan's new song, The Subway, and I don't know if you guys get like this too, but this animation and this story was playing in my head as the song was kind of going through its different parts. So I thought, I'm too lazy to do an animation, but what I can do is still images, and I am going to be putting the lyrics on the screen so that you guys can see what part I'm referencing to. I won't be able to play the song, unfortunately, because of copyright and other stuff, but at least you can see the lyrics on this side. Okay, so the intro of this song goes, I saw your green hair, beauty mark next to your mouth, there on the subway, I nearly had a breakdown. So as far as the color goes, she obviously mentioned green hair, so I started splashing around green. Kind of like when you spot a yellow car on the road and now every other car that passes you is yellow. That's what this first painting feels like to me. Also, the brush that I'm using is PROCREATE's default brush. I'll pop it on the screen because I can't remember the name right now, but it has lots of gaps in it, and I wanted the feeling of this first painting to be that it's slipping away or the world is breaking apart. From what you can see here, I didn't know whether or not I wanted it to be that the character in the foreground is looking towards us or looking at the person disappearing. In the beginning, I started doing a face and I sketched out as if they were looking towards us, but I felt like it had a bit of a disconnect. Also, I started putting red spots on the face as if, in the beginning, I wanted it to be that the person walking away has tainted them with their own color, like that's why their footprints are red. But it just looked like she was getting beat up by the person, so I just stopped that altogether and left the red trail mark to be like that's just their scent or a part of them slipping away. And then I made it that they're facing towards the other person and not us because it just felt really wrong. So yeah, that's kind of like my warm-up. A person looking out into the distance, world is crumbling apart, there's so many gaps, kind of like a void or oblivion, and the person's leaving a trail while they go away. The next part of the song goes, a few weeks later, somebody wore your perfume, it almost killed me, I had to leave the room. For whatever reason, this part of the song just feels red to me. Not necessarily like anger, but more like anxiety. Like my cheeks are going to be flushed red. So I started putting red everywhere. And then the second little verse is somebody wore your perfume. So I wanted something that has a strong smell. So you could smell it through the picture. And one of those things is like a fire, a campfire. The smell of wood burning really feels like it fit in this. And I put it in the center of them so that the two people on the side, they can't see each other because the smoke is just so thick. And maybe they're not even there because it's just the perfume, someone else is wearing it, but it just feels like this disconnect of these two people, like these two souls staring at each other, but they're not. It's just separated by this strong smell. And I don't know, I really like this one. I do wish I made the colors a little bit brighter though, like the land, but I think I kind of prefer it now that I'm looking at the fire. On to the next part of the song, which is, it's just another day and it's not over till it's over, up until the part where she says, till I don't look for you on the staircase or wish you thought that we were still soulmates. Now, this part isn't my favorite part of the song, but this is my favorite drawing that I did for this song. I started off with putting some green or a dark tone in the center, and I knew I wanted it to feel alone. Like it's kind of that you're just sitting in the mistakes or the aftermath of the situation. So I did a silhouette of a girl with her legs pressed up against her chest, so her knees to her chest, and her arms are kind of holding herself in. And then I kind of connected it back to the soulmates part, like or wish you thought that we were still soulmates. So I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with that red line. I think it's Faith. I should have done my research on it, but it's that red line that connects two people, or red string that connects two people. So I kind of put her in the center of it and then had these red lines going around. And I like that because it seems like the red line doesn't know where to go because they both, I guess, thought that they were soulmates and now it's been cut. I was going to do a little bit more with the red line, like maybe connecting it to something or it leads to something, but I like the fact that it just squiggles around in the abyss as well. Super simple, but it's just my favorite one. I don't know what I want to do with this separate to this YouTube video, but I love this drawing. Now this part is my favorite part of the song. It goes, made you the villain, even for just moving on. I see your shadow, I see it even with the lights off. I made a promise, if in 4 months this feeling ain't gone, well, this city, I'm moving to Saskatchewan. Now this was one of the things where I had an image. I knew what I was doing when I put the color on the paper. Oh, it's not a paper, an iPad. But I started off with a silhouette, a yellow silhouette, and I wanted like this fire or this light burning inside them because they're kind of mad, you know, but they're also trying to find a reason. There's something really frustrating having something burn inside of you and other people not really getting it. So it starts off really strong in the silhouette, in the person, and as it kind of comes out, the orange fades to be darker, so other people aren't necessarily getting it, but it's just so bright inside of you, like that feeling. I don't know, this is my favorite song and probably my second favorite drawing. Moving on to the next part of the song, it's a repeat from before, and it goes, and it's not over till it's over, up until I can break routine during foreplay and trust myself that I won't say your name, but I'm still counting down all of the days till you're just another girl on the subway. Now, this part just felt different from the part that I drew from before. Now it just sounds like she's repeating it to convince herself, where in the beginning, you know, she's thinking, okay, maybe there's still a chance, or that they're still thinking that they're soulmates. So at first, I was just going to leave this part out because it's a repeat of the other drawing that I did, but it just felt different. So I started off with some blue. I don't know why blue. I think maybe like that sad feeling of just being now alone, like accepting that you're alone. The other one had like green and reds, and it was still like this fire was burning, but now it's kind of this sad, lonely moment. I knew I wanted a tree, and that's why I kind of started at the top there for the leaves. But in terms of the placement of where I wanted the person to be in this one, I honestly had no clue, and I just played around until it felt right. I'm also not too sure if you guys can see, but I put in these tally marks in the background and I lowered the opacity so that it was quite subtle. But it's kind of re-inviting the lyric of I'm still counting down all of the days. So now they're kind of in this solitude, sad place, and they're just really tallying it down until they're ready to move on. Finally, the last part of this song, and if you haven't heard the song already, you probably should do that before you watch this part because it will just make so much more sense. But it just seems like she's fighting for her life now. At least that's how it feels to me. It just goes, she's got away, and then it changes to, and she got away. And it's kind of repeating that over and over again. Obviously with Chaperone, like her vocals is just insane. So it sounds different, but it's kind of this half feeling of she's got away and she's so great and she's just this whole different person to everyone else, and that fire's just kind of been lit up. But it's also at the same time, like at this point I was still thinking about where I wanted to put my colors, but I added in like this staircase. So the person's at the top of the staircase, they almost faded out into the distance, and now you've realized, or maybe you realized it before, but now the feelings just come back for whatever reason, and you thought you were tallying down all these days and till you were calm and that things could just go back to normal, but it just bursts out of you. And I kind of wanted that. So on the bottom left part of the screen, the yellow is like firing up. It looks like flames. And then I popped in the silhouettes of the character. Hopefully you can kind of picture that. But it's someone reaching out with their hands, and I don't feel like they're chasing after them. It's just like being on their knees, and it's just, you're not even begging, but it's just this feeling that you have, and maybe you don't even want them back, but it's just, there was that feeling, and the other person's got away. I love this one. I think this is absolutely my favorite drawing. I feel like I said that a few times now. I did put the tally again in the top left corner, but instead of finishing it off with like the last line through it doesn't get finished because now the tally's broken. You have to start all over again because that feeling's come back. So now you have to try and count all the days until she's just another girl on the subway. I really love this one. If I was to make music, this would be my album cover. That's how much I like this one. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it other than thank you for watching. This is basically the end. And hopefully if you listen to the song, you can resonate with a few drawings that I did of this. I want to do this again. So if any of you guys have song recommendations, feel free to pop them in. I don't mind what genre of music it is. Obviously, I would like it to be fairly popular so that other people know about it. And that it can reach an audience so that everyone can kind of enjoy it. But at the same time, if there's a song that I really resonate to, I might just do that as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. I am on socials. I have an Instagram that I'm really active on, and I have a Discord group what's the word for that? Discord server, that's the one. I have a Discord server. I'll put that in the link in this video, the caption of this video. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.